Señores y señoritas, mucho gusto. No, that's not the right thing. Thank you for tuning in to the Mega Man-athon. Thank you for donating. If you haven't donated yet, I revoke my thanks until you donate, and then thank you. We will be here until Sunday at about noon at MAGFest, playing some Megamans. But now, we're about to play a game that is not a Mega Man, but rather a spiritual successor of it. And that game is Super Buster Laser Cannon 14, The Revenging.
Subtitled Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's take it over to the main stage. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So we're getting started a little bit early. Mighty Gunvolt Burst is a game that is basically a Mega Man-inspired game that is based on two other Mega Man-inspired games. Azure Striker Gunvolt and Mighty Number 9. Company that made those combined these together into a really cool kind of classic style game. And I'm going to have another couch guest joining me here momentarily. Whenever he's ready. Yep. So I like this game a lot. We actually had a donation incentive to choose the character. And I'm going to take one last look here. There's 9 characters in the game. And it looks like, by a difference of a single penny, the character Jewel has won out. So I'll be playing as Jewel. While we wait for my couch guest real quick, I'll just take a look at the available characters. We'll go on save 20 here. I'll play on normal. So there's basically 3 characters from 3 different games from Inti Creates and related. So Beck is from Mighty Number 9, as well as Call and Ray. So these are all characters from that game. They're a lot of fun. Beck in this game is kind of the most versatile character, very much like Mega Man would be. But you can do upgrades and cool things as you move along, which we'll see briefly as I go through. Call is kind of a companion there. She uses a cool bow weapon and has some different powers. She has some support bots and stuff that go around her. And Ray is interesting because she's kind of a degraded robot. Her life drains over time. She's very much a speedrun character. You have to hit things to get health back. And her melee attack is very strong, so you can kind of dash through opponents and things like that. Gunvolt is from Azure Striker Gunvolt, as well as Jewel, who I'll be playing today, and Copen. Copen and Gunvolt are kind of rivals, but kind of working towards similar goals. Gunvolt has a lot of lightning powers. He has a lot of really cool things he can do. His powers in this game are related to lightning. You can use them to do a little bit of extra damage pretty quickly. Jewel is kind of his guardian angel, you could say. She is another kind of powered character that has these really cool wings, and she actually starts with a double jump, which is awesome in this game. She also gets the ability to use powers with an unlimited CP, and CP is kind of your limit on how powerful your ability can be. And then Copen has a different set of powers that relate to the bots that go with him. And then there's another game that they made called Galgun. We've got Ekiro. She's kind of a more fragile character, but she has temporary invincibility she can use. We've got Corona. She has a cool trident. She has some like demon powers she can use, and she also gets that kind of very McDuck or Shovel Knight ability where she can jump on their heads and smash them with her trident. And then Tenzo, who uses his visor to shoot things. His power is pretty interesting. He can kind of like auto-target Doki Doki mode. So I'm going to go ahead and select Jewel here. It'll give us a little bit of story at the beginning. Another cool thing is, at least at the very beginning and the very end, each character has a little bit of story in this game. There's a lot of variety in who you can play and how they play. So in this case, hers is related to Gunvolt, since she's from the same game. She's a very close companion of Gunvolt's. And I'm going to kind of skip through a little bit here, since this is technically a speedrun. Alright, so they give you one level to start off with. Quick overview of some of the stuff here is you get one of these 2 prizes when you complete a level, and there's a lot of like replay value to playing through levels again. And then you can find some secrets along the way, and these items are some of the secrets along the way. So we go ahead and start the first stage. So kind of, you know, your basic fare. You start on a street, as you do often. She gets a double jump, which is unusual for a lot of the characters in this game. Usually you have to earn your double jump. She only gets 2 shots on screen at a time, pretty much ever. A lot of the characters can upgrade. You also see that if you're close to an enemy when you kill it, you get burst. Burst builds up a kind of score combo. It also builds your power quicker. So her power is the kind of butterfly wings that are in the top there. And when used, she can use a secondary loadout, kind of, because you can build these loadouts in the game. Here's one of the secret areas. Collecting extra CP will help me get a couple of upgrades along the way. And as long as I can collect them quickly, then it will work out. You also can grab kind of candies, food, candies, so that you can replenish your health on your own through the start menu. And the first level is pretty cool because it introduces you to a lot of concepts, like these power-ups for invincibility. Some enemies, like those floating ones, if you kill them normally, they'll explode with shots. But if you kill them with burst, then you don't get the shots, so you're a little bit safer if you do it that way. Just gonna skip him. I don't even need. He can stay there. He's just watching that little platform in the middle of nowhere. It's fine. Another secret here. And the first boss. The first boss is actually weak to all of the elements in the game, but you don't have any elements the first time you play through, so you just have to win with the voice of Jewel. If he hits the ground while you're standing on something, you'll get stunned temporarily, like that. This is where I can use a superpower, basically. Switched over in the loadout by using the R button. She can also jump infinitely with that loadout. And there we go. First boss. All right, so you don't actually get an element for the first boss, but you do get an upgrade you can choose from. So every time you beat a level, it gives you a choice of upgrades, and take damage reduction, which I'll upgrade later. It's probably too much CP to take right now. Every time you play first time with a character, it's going to give you tutorial stuff along the way as well. So this is where your loadouts are. You cannot change the first loadout. This loadout is basically my super-powered loadout. So I can set this to do all of the fun things, including, now that I have damage reduction, reduce my damage reduction while I'm using the power. And as I get more upgrades, these will be able to be upgraded as well. Actually like the homing shot. It's good. And then we'll be able to create our own loadout as well later. Just make sure getting the things I want. And we're going to jump onto the first stage I like to do is this sniper character. It's in a government facility. Some of the levels have divergent paths, some do not. This one has 3 diverting paths. You basically have to do all 3, but you can do them in any order you want. And it's got these interesting walls where anytime you see kind of a triangle of dots, that's where you can pass through. If there isn't one, there's usually an invisible wall. So there's a little puzzle here where you have to jump on just the right spots to get through to get the little upgrade that's here. A little bit slow, but it's all right. That's one of the 3 paths complete. Counts you down. And if there's a power you can, or an upgrade you can get that's called dousing. It tells you where all these secret walls are by kind of beeping at you as you're close by. Oh. So there's a lot of elements in the upgrades that are pretty cool too, about things like knockback. So when you get hit, you get knocked back, and you have some iframes so that you're invincible briefly. And there are upgrades related to that, so you can update those. You can eventually have no knockback. You can have longer invincibility frames. You can have usually if you hit spikes, because it is basically a Mega Man game, you will die, but you can have some instant death resistance. So that instead of dying instantly to the spikes, you actually just take a little bit of damage. Cutting it close to my life there. Lurk gang. It's okay if you guys want to lurk and watch. Remember, this is for the kids, for charity. So now I'm at 0. I get to go to the security level 0. Basically the last area before fighting the boss in this level. Hurry up and get my tutorial for food items and eat a couple. So they're showing you that there's some invisible ground here, and that you might have to deal with that in a second. So it's kind of cool that there are enemies here to trip you up and show you where the platforms are. So, serving a double purpose there with the game design. I can skip this guy completely. So sometimes you'll see doors that have a green barrier on them. Jewel is Bay. And you can't open those doors until an enemy nearby is defeated. But if the door is just red, then you can just jump past the enemy, take a hit even. So this boss will actually give you a little bit of health. He's trying to give it to himself. But one of the hearts is real. One of the hearts. The rest of the hearts are not. So I'm waiting for him to do his 50% move, which is this. Doesn't actually hurt you. You can jump right in the middle of it. It just obscures your vision a little bit. Tries to make it a little bit harder to see where he's coming out. So now I can jump infinitely. Almost got him. He's going to give me a health again. There we go. And if you're close to bosses, you can also get a burst. There are some really cool challenges. There's 30 challenges that come in the game. And one of the challenges is basically to get a really high combo on levels and for the burst. And you essentially have to get through everything without failing to burst to get that challenge. Alright, so he gives me the Analyzer element. Analyzer is good against the radio tower boss. I'm going to jump in, oops, add that to a normal shot. So I now have another loadout that I can use. I'm also going to add this to my power real quick, so that when I use my power in the boss fight, it's even more powerful against him. So I didn't have enough CP to add another upgrade yet. As you can see, there's a couple more items on here. I don't really need... It tells you the order and what items you get. So I really want the 4th and the 6th item because they give me more points to upgrade. And this is basically your sky level. It's going to be a lot of pitfalls and a lot of things that try to trip you into those pitfalls. That enemy being one of them. These enemies actually shoot electric balls along the wires. So if you are climbing on the wires when the ball hits you, you're much more likely to get knocked down. Here's another secret area. If I could stop getting hit by the enemy. There we go. So one of the things about this is it actually is kind of, to some degree, it's a little bit easy to just take a hit and keep going with certain characters. So here, if I take a hit, then I fall all the way back down, you lose some time. This is also one of those things where if you're trying to do a challenge to get a high burst combo, this one is a little bit more challenging than others. So I just missed that upgrade, but that's okay. Don't actually need all the upgrades. Did a little hop there to avoid the timing of running into that enemy. Messed that one up a little bit. It's alright, we started early, so I get a little bit of time. There we go, and there's some tricksy enemies right here. So those that shoot the electric balls at the same time you're moving, at the same time there are spikes. A lot of fun little things to dodge in that short span. So now we're going to fight the radio tower boss. And my special couch guest is about to join me. So he's got this fun little kind of recording bot that flies around with him. The element he gives you is called press. If that robot hits you when he shoots it, that camera, it'll stick to you, so you cannot shoot forward. Blocks your shots while he dives at you.
Hey, Crits. How's it going, man?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you. I apologize for my tardiness. I did not realize you would be starting early today.
Me neither.
But here we are. You're playing Mighty Gunvolt Burst, and you're doing a fine job doing so far. I'm actually really glad you're playing as Jewel, because she's my personal favorite. Her and Corona are my personal favorite in this game.
Oh, I love being able to do the like ridiculously powerful shots, which I didn't even use against this boss.
No, you didn't. But you beat his butt anyway.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir. If you're wondering who the hell I am and just wandering up on this couch with this fine gentleman right here, my name's Matt Papa. I am the localization director of this very game that he is playing here today, Mighty Gunvolt Burst, amongst others as well. And yeah, I am very happy to be up here with you for this, because this is one of our most tried and true, like, Mega Man style games that isn't an actual Mega Man game that we've made.
Right. It's got a really nice classic feel to it. The graphics are wonderful.
Thank you.
It's one of those games that came out and it's very inexpensive. It's only basically a few dollars to pick it up.
$10.
And
$10.
A couple characters, $2 each.
Yeah,
something
characters
like that.
$2 a piece. You really can't beat it.
It's amazing. Let's see if there's anything else. I think I need $250 for that, so it's too much. The fire boss is actually one that I used to start with a lot because I like his pattern is pretty easy to get through.
Okay, so now what stages have you completed so far?
I started with the sniper. So,
Okay, you did counter shade. Okay.
Yeah. And you'll find that I'm terrible with names.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm supposed to know all of the important information, so feel free to ask me any of those things.
Absolutely.
So what I'm actually going to do, now that we're here, we're doing our thing, and I'm going to make a quick tweet and take a selfie of us.
All right. bombs. It's kind of fun playing through the first time. You see all those bombs, you get scared. Kind of want to stop and take care of them. You can actually run by them for the most part. A little bit of finesse in areas like this. These will not instantly kill you, but they will slow you down. So it's best to avoid them. Another little secret area that I don't need there. Usually when I beat the game, I end up with about 71%. I think that's my usual number. Basically picking up only the upgrades that I need.
Okay. So you're going for pure speed then. You're not trying to take too much extra time then, right?
Right. And I've seen some people online that they have some really strong strategies. They definitely do it a lot faster than I do. I stop and get a lot more food. I take a lot more hits for the sake of speed.
Okay. Yeah. So you, geez, I just dropped my phone. But yeah, you just let that one go, and that, I mean, but that's one of the kind of like pinnacle features of this game is kind of that make your character stronger, build them up with all these upgrades and new powers system. You know, your characters are like super customizable. That you can, 10 different people can play Mighty Gunvolt Burst as Jewel and have her control 10 different ways.
Absolutely. She has, 5 different shot types.
Yep, she does.
And even though you can get that unlimited shot, everyone could have a different preference. So the one I like to use is, it's a slow shot, but it homes. So it shoots 2 shots out. And you can pretty much hit any boss with that. There are bosses that like to try to get a height advantage on you.
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So here we go.
How do you unlock what? That's how you unlock the Rick Jewelman DLC. That was one of my favorite memes from an Inti stream. Has somehow like the topic devolved into Jewel being like a private eye with like a mustache and a pipe named Rick Jewelman, and it is my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing.
So there's no real pattern to these fireballs, but they do indicate to you when they come out of the wall.
Go, go, go. See, I think when I do her special, I like doing a IO light, like the little crystal bomb ones.
Oh yeah.
Those are fun because you can just go nuts with those things.
So Ekro was actually winning until just before the stream.
Really?
And I started doing a little bit of a practice run with Ekro, and she's a fun character because she's simultaneously really good for speed and really bad for speed.
Really?
She has like half the health, I think, something like that.
Yeah, her health bar is very low.
But she has temporary invincibility.
Yes, she does.
So if you use it strategically, you can just breeze through some areas of the levels. So he, of course, is strong against ice.
Yeah.
The elements, you can figure out how the elements work pretty much on your own without too much effort. Some of them are a little bit more interesting than others. So my strategy for the heat boss here changes a little bit depending on which character I'm playing as. With Ekro, since you can be invincible, I actually just run into the ice balls.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy.
Jewel's interesting because her shot does not bounce off of the ice balls because it's sound, I assume. So this level is very reminiscent of a level that's in the game it's based off of. And these water effects can push you into the spikes, so you have to be careful about your timing.
They are a doozy. If you're not familiar with how like the pattern of the water, like the water tornadoes or whatever you want to call them, or whirlpools, whatever, no, they can really ruin your day. Like even when me and Andrew do like playthroughs of Burst like on like our Inti Crates like official stream. Like, one of us is almost guaranteed to slip up on this stage at least once. Like, guaranteed.
Oh, there it is.
Guaranteed. This stage is, like, the quintessential run killer. I
Oh, yeah.
swear to God.
There's so many, the change in directions of the tornadoes, the slightly jumpier jump.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
you're in the water.
Yeah, it makes you, especially if you've played a couple stages already, it really makes you, you have to like readjust your stuff.
There you go. There's actually a little bit of a secret area, so this one diverts. One of the levels that has a changing path if you go through the secret.
Yeah.
It's over there, but I'll just.
Uh-oh.
I'll just take the normal way here.
It's like, it's so funny because, like, you know, she's like, oh, like when she's like, you know, it's like, good thing you use your mouth to attack. It's like, how would you attack otherwise?
There's a little enemy jumps out of the wall there to try to trick you up. Oh, ice. Don't actually need to fight them at all.
Okay. You ready for a selfie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. All right. We got it.
It's okay, I'm not going for any world records or anything, so that's the selfie run. It would be funny.
This lighting does some very interesting things to your face. Not yours, but mine looks very silly. Yeah, that's a good filter. We'll do that.
There we go.
We'll do that one.
So this area is also tricksy because you have tornadoes and ice.
Yeah, you
So if you land on the ice wrong-
really got to watch your footing here. Oh, nice. Very good.
And here we are, just in front of the boss room.
All right, we are all set to go. Yeah, again, my apologies for showing up late to the couch. I was unaware that you would be starting early, and I had some pretty neat stuff to kind of finalize before I sat down with you here.
Yeah.
So for those of you eagle-eyed folks may have noticed, I brought something with me up on the couch, which I will be showing off in just a little bit.
So you notice Cryosphere here has some balls that he comes out. If they hit you, you will be frozen temporarily. Does all kinds of fun things with them, like hit them with a baseball bat.
So fun fact, Cryosphere is actually a she.
Oh!
Yes.
I should remember that from the other game. I actually really like how the characters translate into this game from their original game.
Yeah, it's really, really, really cool. Like the Mighty Number 9 team did a really great job of incorporating the characters into an 8-bit, no, more like 12 to 16-ish kind of bit style.
So the ice power is, excuse me, strong against the machine gun guy. It is freezing up the machinery. That's what I always thought of it as.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I can afford some damage reduction now in my normal power, so that's going to help.
Yeah, that is the unsung hero of of this game's upgrades.
Especially for certain characters,
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Yeah, your Ekaros of the world really appreciate damage reduction.
There are some really fun combinations for those upgrades. Even in a speed run, you can get a couple of them. Playing as Ray, if you can get the melee attack with any kind of increase in attack power,
Oh,
plus
yes.
the element,
Yes.
you can pretty much destroy a boss before they even get their
Like,
special.
you can just shred them to pieces. It's redonkulous how strong Ray is.
So this is one of those green doors that I have to eliminate the enemy to get through. Slows you down just a little bit.
Yeah, I know obviously you got the donation incentive to play as Jewel, but do you have any personal favorites in this game that you personally like to play as?
I actually do really like playing as Jewel. The fact that she starts with her aerial action
Yeah,
is
it's very nice.
Very nice. And I just really like her power. It's like someone in chat said a little earlier. It feels very OP, but the idea is that it is limited. She only gets 2 shots on screen at any time. They are quick, but
Yeah.
it is a limit.
Yeah, I think the team did a really good job of keeping especially characters with like their base abilities pretty balanced. Like I don't think any one character is like grotesquely more OP than any of the others, especially like in their like core formats.
Right.
Like there's customization settings that you can do that I think really benefit certain characters more than others. So I think depending on how you customize your characters, you can really make, you can eliminate to the either completely eliminate or largely eliminate certain characters' weaknesses and completely just expand upon their strengths.
Absolutely.
And like for something like Rey, for example, like she has crazy high attack power, but she has that like HP drain. But you can turn off the HP drain if you have enough CP to do it.
And you lose the health gain that she gets for hitting enemies, but you still get her melee attack, and it's so strong.
Yeah, the melee attack it's super sad. That, along with Corona's spear drop, are some of the more satisfying attacks to do in the game for me personally.
The spear drop is really fun for enemies that go to the top of the screen.
Yes. Oh my god, you just
sit on top of them.
Yeah, oh, it's great. I love it. So this is Battalion, who's going to get some homing notes to his face.
So he's definitely going to get his halfway power there, which is a fun one once you learn the pattern.
Yeah.
4 shots there saves you, and then it's just paying attention to the drill.
Yeah, which hurts a lot if it hits you.
It does.
Like and then the Gatling gun arm too is really powerful, so you really got to watch yourself.
And then I always messed up the timing on this because of the enemy. It took a while to get used to that one.
You can really throw a dent in your, or throw a wrench in your dodging plans there. But one thing that I'm not sure if people who have played this game are aware of is all of the bosses in Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Like, yes, they are characters from the Mighty No. 9 universe, but every single one of the 8 bosses in Mighty Gunvolt Burst has sort of a callback of sorts to an Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 boss.
Huh.
Now, if you'll notice, Battalion in Mighty No. 9, Battalion doesn't break apart like that and do all that special attack. That's something he only does in Burst. And that comes from the Gunvolt 2 boss, Asrock.
Okay.
That's one of his attacks. His mech unit breaks up into pieces and does a series of different attacks like that. Right. So in every single boss in this game has a callback to a Gunvolt 2 boss.
That's awesome.
So you just did Cryosphere before. One of her attacks callbacks to Milos from Gunvolt 2, the guy who's has the water abilities, the water cannon shots that she does. That's the callback to Milos from Gunvolt 2.
Yeah. See, I never thought about that.
Yep.
That's awesome. This stage, if you don't do the last stage before it, there are some things you cannot get. You cannot break these blocks without the right element. Obviously, those blocks in particular aren't as important, but sometimes you can get blocked.
Yeah, having that element definitely makes this stage a little bit easier to digest.
Standing a little too close there.
Yeah.
Just because.
Nice. I was wondering if you were going to get that.
Little secret there for more power-ups. And it's a lot of fun because, like we were saying about the abilities, they're also different, even if it's the same ability, different between characters.
Yep.
So Gunvolt and Joel get a double jump. And, oh well, I don't need that secret. Pretty much just swag showing off all the secret areas.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But
yeah,
has a dash.
Some of those enemies you just saw are a callback to a Desna stage from Gunvolt 2. And they are some of the things that shoot the rings around you and you get frozen in place if you hit those are little jerk faces.
They can also be run killers.
Yes,
just
they
in
are.
any given area.
Yes, they are. I'm sorry, you were saying.
I don't remember. I was saying that you get dashes with certain characters and things like that, even though it's still aerial action.
Yes, you can. Yeah, honestly, when I was localizing this game, I was kind of having a little bit of trouble of what I wanted to call this, because it's not always a double jump or an air dash. It's always something a little different for each character. So I wanted to make sure I got that right.
Right. I
You really want that candy, don't you?
want that candy. Oh,
no.
It killed me. The greed got me. I don't need the candy.
Your life for a candy. Your life for a candy.
It's like 4 food is more than enough to take on a boss. Usually only need a little bit if I do take a couple extra hits. And this boss's pattern is pretty cool. It's not that hard. I mean, I say that, but really it's just a matter of playing the game so many times to know if a boss patterns.
Exactly. And if there's one thing I've learned from like my runs yesterday is like no matter how much you know a game, marathon luck is always in play.
It's always there.
Always in play. So Seismic here, he's a big strong boy, and we'll see when we get to his special attacks. His Gunvolt 2 counterpart, so to speak.
So he's actually not doing his other attacks as one of them.
Yeah,
But you have to
I was
watch.
kind of waiting for him to
there
do that.
He goes. You have to watch his fists because it'll indicate what attacks he's going to be using.
He's got the drill bits.
There we
now.
go.
Yeah, so that right there is a direct callback to Desna from Gunvolt 2. She has the attack that she does with her crazy hair, that like with the spikes that come up from the ground.
So that was a fun one to get used to with the pattern because
Yeah.
you have to be watching his fists themselves to know which one he's going to go into.
Right, and it's one of those things that can be really easy to. It's a small detail that can be really easy to miss in the middle of like a fight. But it's something that once you are keenly aware of it, it's something you can really kind of go out of your way to look out for.
So I was playing this with our friend Jewel,
Yes.
and she beat the last level and got Smash, and I said, okay, now what element do you think Smash would be good against? You just played the rock level. She looked at me for a second, and I was like...
Yep, sometimes it really is that simple.
Rock beats scissors.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and take on the highway.
Good old Brandish. His fight is one of my favorites in this game.
I still can't, get his pattern good. I couldn't do a flawless run with him.
Oh, it's yeah, no, that is not a thing that most normal people can do, I think.
Just take the hits. Food.
But yeah, I mean, especially playing as Jewel with the full life bar, like, do not let her appearance fool you. Jewel is a tough customer.
She really is.
I know for a lot of Gunvolt fans, for Mighty Gunvolt Burst, it was such a pleasure to, because you always get to play as Gunvolt and Cope and, the resident, tough boy badasses who can really mess stuff up. But it was such a treat to be able to, because Jewel is such a beloved character in the series, so it was such a treat to be able to, play as her in a game for once.
Absolutely. I was so happy to see her as a playable character.
Yeah, she's a very, very beloved character in the series, so I think it was such a good fit. And I think that the team came up with her songs being her attacks were such it was a really creative way to incorporate her into a game like this. Because all the other ones, they have pretty straightforward means of dishing out damage and doing the thing, but Jules, I think a lot of people would see her as more of a support character, with her, anthem abilities and all that kind of stuff, but having her be in the forefront and having some of the strongest abilities in the game. Oh, be careful.
Don't get caught in the street or on the tracks.
Yeah, it was a real treat to watch that.
Yeah, I like that you can also play as the Galgun characters, because it's not a game I've played, but I got a little bit of...
You should. Representing today.
Got a little bit of experience with the characters because of this game, and it makes me want to get a taste over there.
I think you should. I really think you should. Maybe next year, Galgun speedrun maybe?
Galgun speedrun.
Someone wants to take the mantle on that one?
MAGFest Galgun speedrun.
I'm so down for that. I could talk about working on Galgun all day and all night.
There's a lot of dialogue in that game, right? So there's
Yes.
a heck of a lot of localization.
Yes. So for Galgun Double Peace, that was one I localized basically that entire game on my own, which is probably that's probably to date the toughest project in terms of just sheer workload for me personally that I've had. For the next game, Galgun 2, I was fortunate enough to work with a team that did a fantastic job, and it was nice to do some stuff myself, but also do more of like a editorial overseer type of role that time around. So I wasn't responsible for going into the trenches and doing every single line myself. It was very nice. One-man localization is tough because it's always like, it's like any creative adventure. It's like, I think this sounds good, or I think this is funny, or I think this isn't awkward or weird, but you don't have anybody to ask if that's okay. At least in my situation, because I work in an all-Japanese environment, so I can't go to my coworkers like, "Hey, is this funny or is this weird?" Because they don't know. So, it's kind of we don't have that problem anymore because now we have Andrew over there, NT now, who does localization work with us, and for like big projects like Galgun, we get to work with a team of freelancers. That was really great. So having all that is astronomically helpful in the process.
Someone to bounce some things off of.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there are a lot of fun little things in a lot of the games that you've localized. Things that aren't necessarily in text that you read, but text that you hear characters say.
Oh, yeah.
The names of attacks in the other games when they're shouting them out as they use them against you.
Well, what was cool is for Gunvolt 2, because in Gunvolt 1, the super big attack names, they were different in English, but the voice lines were only the Japanese name. So Jota's attack is like Phosphatorium, but his in English it's like Zero Blade. But even in English, you still hear him say like Zero Blade. It's like, wait, what? But for Gunvolt 2, we had the foresight to. Why would you? All right, now I know you're just showing off. We had the foresight to. We had the English names for the attacks figured out before recording was done. So we had the Japanese voice actors record the English attack names too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was nice. But yeah, for localizing Mighty Gunvolt Burst, if you haven't seen this game yet, I don't want to give too much away because you'll see it later. But localizing the final boss's dialogue was a real treat, and definitely one of the toughest things about localizing Mighty Gunvolt Burst is, there's all these customization options, that you've seen Crits doing, and there's so many just base customization options, and then there's so many different ones that are unique to certain characters, and that's just a lot of. That's like the least fun kind of text to localize.
Yeah.
Is like menu text. That's the least interesting stuff. So when I first got the sheet with all of the Japanese text, I'm like, a lot of this stuff, it can be it's really hard to know exactly what, even if you know what the words mean, it's really hard to know exactly what it does in the game until you see it.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time in Burst, constantly going back and forth referencing the sheet with all the Japanese and setting it up in certain ways in the game, okay, I think it should be this, but a lot of times it's it should be A, and then you'll see it in practice in the game, actually it would sound way more on point if it was B. There's a lot of that, and it's just all that trial and error. And so Dynatron here, who I know she's a big fan favorite, and her attacks borrow from Gibril from Gunvolt 2.
Can I get close enough? There we go.
Just that little.
I want the burst.
good.
Of course, scissors cuts the wires of electricity. There were a couple enemies in there as well that kind of throwbacks to other things. The
Oh,
zombies.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, it's not just the bosses, but you'll see, like, wire zombie type enemies in a power plant.
Right.
Oh, there you go. That explains everything. All right, so he's getting to the extra stages.
Trying to
I
remember.
almost said Wily stages.
Yeah. We're getting to now that all the bosses have been defeated in order. We now have.
All right, so what's your loadout? You got 2100 CP. What's your loadout gonna be?
So still got the full damage reduction. I
Yeah.
don't think I have enough to get any. No, that's a lot more. Trying to remember
Yeah,
which enemy
doubling
I'm
up that
fighting
aerial
here.
action's expensive.
I think it's press, but I might be wrong. Either way, I know what we're about to get into, so I can stick with what I have pretty much.
Okay, good stuff.
I think I missed the attack power upgrade along the way, but I don't think I would have enough CP to
That's a
do
pretty,
it by
it's a
the
pretty
end.
expensive one. Yeah. Now that you get into the like after you beat the 8 bosses, you get into the extra levels. This is where the game starts to show its Gunvolt side a lot more.
Right.
Because if you guys have played Gunvolt 2, then methinks this stage, like not just the music, but the way the whole stage looks out, would be quite familiar to you.
You can see the digital remnants of the stages in the background.
Yeah, I love that effect. It's so neat looking. Nice. Your life for an apple. It's amazing what these characters will risk their lives for. You know, apples, candy.
Another little secret shortcut.
Yeah.
I love the silhouetted stage.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, just watch out for those. Your life for a lollipop!
It's like all the collectibles I'm not actually using. Just got in the habit of getting because I used to be worse.
No, this is good. This is good. Get all that tasty treats. This is like high calorie food shadow alley thing.
This room used to actually kill me a lot.
Oh yeah, no, this was a doozy.
Precision jumping,
Yeah.
not getting hit by the enemies.
It's one of those things you kind of just got to get like the muscle memory for it.
And this area, you pretty much have to burst these enemies, or the dots that come out of them. Otherwise,
Yeah, they give you. It's a bad time.
Peach. Yep.
There it is. There it is.
Little too early there.
And so after you finish this stage, I'm gonna need a minute because I wanna show you guys what I have on the couch here.
Absolutely.
Since you're getting near the end of your run, and I want to make sure that people have time to see this and be aware of it.
And I think we're making pretty good time.
Oh yeah,
Started
I
early.
definitely think you are. Oh, we got some donations coming in. We have $25 from KXP, greetings from Germany. First-time viewer, long-time donator. Keep up the hype, and I'm donating this toward both Hard Route and Star Fox and the Mega Man 7 Final Boss. Hype!
Nice.
And then we have $12.30 from Django, $1,500 hype. Good stuff. Oh, it's Spoopy Beck. Spoopy Beck don't stand a chance against you.
The one disadvantage of the homing shots is when you miss, you have to wait for them.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I like Iolite so much, because you can like carpet bomb the floor with those things. Crystal Man would be so proud.
Dual shot types named after Gunvolt songs as well. Yeah.
Yep. Those are all actual Jewel songs in the game. There, I can speak English. So, if you saw me come up to the couch, you might be wondering, what the hell did this guy bring up on the couch? Well, since, we're kind of kicking off Friday, I almost forgot what day it was. Since we're kind of kicking off, it's early Friday, and, we still have a lot more Mega Man-athon to go.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce a new donation incentive to the Mega Man-athon.
All right.
Now, with me up here, if you are a Gunvolt fan, methinks your urge to donate to Child's Play is going to go up just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit. Because right here with me, one lucky Gunvolt fan donator will be taking home this little dandy. This is the, if you can see it on the camera, this is the Azure Striker Gunvolt press kit from the 3DS version of Azure Striker Gunvolt 1. Now, as you can tell, it looks like, a Super Famicom box, all that kind of good stuff. On the inside, we have a full-color instruction manual made custom for this press kit for the game, and a Super Famicom cart replica for Azure Striker Gunvolt. There's no chip inside there. It's not an actual game. But it is a Super Famicom style. This is an actual Super Famicom cassette, just with no guts in it, and a shiny Gunvolt label. So that is part 1.
That's awesome.
I'm not even done yet, my friends. Oh, no. I am not even done. Because you see, we are not just giving away to charity this amazing press kit, which we have extremely few of left at this point. With me here is the Arm Blue Gunvolt, as it's called in Japan, Azure Striker Gunvolt Complete Works art book, complete with Lumen song recollection, a bunch of remixes of Lumen tracks as a CD. Oh, but not just that. Not just that. You see, kids. This art book here has a few names on it.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to try to show this to the camera over yonder, just so you can see. Yeah, a couple names in here. So, this art book is signed by the following: Yoshihisa Suda, director of Azure Striker Gunvolt; Takuya Aizu, producer of Azure Striker Gunvolt; Toshiaki Tai, scenario writer of Azure Striker Gunvolt; Munehiro Araki, character designer of Azure Striker Gunvolt; Ippo Yamada, sound designer of Azure Striker Gunvolt; and some guy named Matt Papa who localized Azure Striker Gunvolt.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who he is, but I heard he's a weird guy.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know why you would ever want that guy's signature, but definitely I can understand why you'd want the other 5 people's though. So these 2 items are available as a donation incentive. Right now, they are available now, so you can go ahead and go to MegaMan-athon.com, donate. You can donate towards this goal, and everybody who donates towards the Gunvolt fan pack will be eligible to put their hat in the ring to take home this amazing package.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I want it.
Well, then you better go to MegaMan-athon.com and donate to Child's Play, mister.
Let me just, guys, hold on a second. All right, so I remember the boss for this one. I need my heat powers. That's an amazing prize.
Thank you. Now, I'm so glad we had to dig kind of deep, but we were able to find a few press kits left, and I was glad to be able to bring one here to Mega Man-athon. Because, I cannot. There's such a small number of those.
I wasn't aware it existed. That's awesome.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I think there was maybe 100 made. Maybe 150. I can't imagine it being much more than that.
And
but these are all mostly given out. These were given out to media outlets when the original Azure Striker Gunvolt for 3DS came out in 2014. So there's only a select few media people who have these.
And some lucky donor gets to have it.
And some lucky donor will get that and the official Complete Works art book, which is a gorgeous friggin' art book, by the way. If you like the art of Azure Striker Gunvolt, and it has not just official art, but it has character design docs and all that kind of behind the scenes type of stuff too. Yeah, so I really hope all you Gunvolt fans come out and support Child's Play and throw your hat in the ring towards this, frankly, amazing package.
Remember, it is for charity that we're doing all this for.
Yes, every last bit of it. It's for the kiddos.
They get a lot of support and a lot of very cool items, things like video games and things like that while they're going through some tough times.
Yes.
It helps them cope a lot. There's quite a number of studies out there that show that it is helpful. I mean, any one of us knows, even when we're just sick with the flu or something simple like that, having a video game can help out a lot.
Makes you forget about all the crappy things your body is doing to you.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to see all, because I know you Gunvolt fans, you guys are some of the best fans I could ever ask for, and I really hope that you guys, donate whatever you can towards this awesome goal. And just, even if you're not donating towards this, just even if you only have $1 to spare, it really does go a long way.
Just run through everything.
Just face tank that. Jules.
At this point,
Jules
taking
a tough cookie.
only 25% damage with that full health bar. Sometimes I can get this boss in one phase. Let's see if I can mash the button fast enough.
You got this.
Don't touch the walls.
Yeah, they hurt. They hurt. Yeah, it's kind of like a briar patch of sorts. An electronic briar patch. Oh, go, 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 go. Oh, very nice.
Got hit by one beam.
Well done. Putting that homing shot thumb to work.
All right. One more special stage, and then we get the boss rush. Speed eating is fun.
She's a hungry girl.
I got knockback resistance in there as well. This should be shock.
Do you have knockback on or knock resistance on?
Certainly can now.
Oh, doing no knockback. Nice.
No knockback is really nice when you're trying to go fast and keep the hits going. Let's see. No knockback. Where was that speed eating? Just in case I get hit while my power's on.
Yeah.
And shock.
All right.
Let's go through Dystopia. Such a pleasant, happy name.
Oh, yeah. Sunshine and rainbows and sparkles and unicorns.
So this is a fun little area where you can go through the top and get through that teleporter, but oh no, I fell. There is an item to the left usually that you won't get. Took me a couple playthroughs to figure out that I was missing something for 100%.
That's part of the fun, though.
Absolutely.
Now, like when you first saw like this kind of distorted perspective thing, like what did you think of that? Like this is like I don't know if many other 8-bit style games or 12-bit, 16-bit, whatever, that kind of do this sort of thing.
Oh, I love it. It obviously another throwback to the other games, but it's the Zonda, the level where you kind of teleport around and things get distorted.
Zonda likes to make the world a little topsy-turvy, so to speak.
But it's cool because you're still going left to right, essentially, but the angle kind of hides a little bit of aspects of the screen, and it adds a little bit of kind of a chaotic feel to everything.
Yeah, so these areas here with that, I don't know, what you want to call it, like tractor beam type thing, whatever that you're sucked in, like the more you shoot, the faster you rise. And then if you stop shooting, then you start to fall.
Right, and there's little trap areas in previous levels where it's actually easier for you to run under an enemy instead of try to shoot at it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because you'll just rise right into the enemy.
I thought you were just going to leave that cake be. I'm like, really? It's right in front of you.
And then there's a fun little secret here that accidentally found for the first time and always go for once we get there. Invincibility!
Yeah, go, go, go.
This is nice spikes you can walk across.
She won't care about no spikes.
There we
Yeah, you
go.
can get some pretty good distance with that invincibility.
Yeah. And just about there. A fun race room.
Go, Jewel, go.
Beat the clock.
Not gonna sacrifice your life for a meat bone there.
Guess I don't need the turkey leg.
the ham bone, as I like to call it. Excellent.
Everything's explosive in that room. All right. Where did this come from?
Oh yeah, where have I seen Plasma Legion before?
Where have I seen this?
That's a good Gunvolt boy. I remember when we was it 2 years ago, I guess, or maybe even 3. That was 2 years ago. When we were doing like a fan voting poll for like a Gunvolt wallpaper that we were making. I believe it's for the Halloween wallpaper. And you could vote on like basically what character you wanted to see, like basically like be like the centerpiece of the special wallpaper image. And I still remember one person voted for Plasma Legion. There was one person.
Just one person
One
really
person
loves this.
really likes Plasma Legion. Like Plasma Legion got more votes than some like actual characters did.
It's a really cool enemy. It's like
I just always thought that was so funny.
it's like a fighter jet in a
It's
tank.
like we have a Plasma Legion superfan in our midst.
All right, let's see.
Oh, we have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for that $25 donation. Plasma Legion best girl. I mean, pretty much the girls always won the fan voting polls for like the wallpapers and stuff. I know, like we did 2 for Halloween. I know Elise won one of them, and Gibril won the other.
Joel's the best.
Get all those
Unofficial
snakes.
opinion.
All them snakes. It was still like I still remember back when we were here at MAGFest in 2016 doing all the Inti Creates concerts and stuff like that, and we had Megu Sakuragawa, Jules' voice actor, on stage at Mega Man-athon for like an hour or so when I was playing Gunvolt 1, and it was a really fun
That was
time.
amazing. That was a really
I don't
cool.
know if that video is archived anywhere. I really hope it is, but
It was. It should still be out there.
Good. If you internet sleuths can dig that up and watch it, it's really cute. We're having a really good time. And if you want to even, and more importantly than that, in all honesty, if you go on MAGFest's official YouTube page, you can see, Megu's live concert from MAGFest 2016.
That's right.
Which is, that's her first time ever performing in the U.S. And it was a lot of fun.
Get down here.
That was a little close. Go. As you don't want him to do that cycle again. Because he
That's
will.
right. Yeah,
if you
he
give him
will.
enough time, he will do that cycle again.
And he is invulnerable in that cycle, so
Yep.
you cannot hurt him at all.
Yep.
Should be. Okay. Oh, that's what it was.
All set to press.
Equip. Get that apple.
By Rick O.P. Julman. Someone did like a quick Photoshop mock-up of Rick Julman. It's out there somewhere.
I saw that. I think it was on Twitter at
Like
some
the
point.
detective hat and the mustache, and it's great.
into his, where he becomes invulnerable.
Oof.
Just take the hit. Joel's a tough cookie.
Yeah, that damage reduction is MVP right now. Because that does hurt a lot if you
It
don't have
does.
damage reduction on.
If I was close enough for the burst.
Boink.
Yep.
Good job.
This level, first starting off, is one of the harder ones to get the full burst on.
Oh
Because
yeah, absolutely.
bosses can be tricksy. You have to be able to take those hits to the face to really
Yeah,
get the
you
burst.
really. I would pay good money to see somebody do like a no hit run and still get all the bursts for like this boss rush. I would pay good money to see that.
Got the analyzer, so we can always see where he's going.
Yeah, I still think Avi here is one of the tougher fights of all the bosses, especially if you're like going after him like early on. Like he has like attacks if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you do know what you're doing, they're really tough to avoid.
They are.
Like that freaking camera, like he has given me more trouble than probably any of the Mighty Number bosses. Oh, I think that should be good.
It should be good. Should be close enough to burst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the crisscross clone one.
Yeah, no,
It's a really cool.
It's, as I was saying yesterday, it's a bastard sandwich with extra bastard sauce. I love just like the computer graphic ice in the background. I love that. I don't know why I love that so much. I just do.
Turn up the heat again.
Yeah, as a big baseball fan, that's my favorite attack.
It's a very cool attack. It's just silly enough to like almost feel a little out of place, but
But
it's
Cryo's
just-
a very silly character, so it's not out of place for her. Yeah, that one right there, that's right out of Milos' playbook.
such a cool design too, with the giant cryo tank on the
Yeah,
back. Just
so cool. All right, so far so good, man. 4 for 4 on the bursts.
Dynatron can be fairly quick because she doesn't really get invulnerable, but she creates things that can be shields for her.
Yeah, the little electro sticks.
Short ones expand, tall ones go slow. She's going to do her 50% health attack.
Energy bro.
There we go.
Well done.
I like the animation for her when she goes down.
It's really good.
Dang it.
It's really good. Oh, we have another $25 donation from Leo. Who says, Plasma Legion best girl donating to save the snacks. Thank you very much, Leo, for that donation. Everybody love Plasma Legion.
Now I kind of want to see, like, you know, Bowsette and everything. Somebody
Oh my god,
create,
Bowsette
like,
Plasma Legion? Holy crap! Holy crap, that'd be epic.
Where's our artists?
I know there's at least one back there. I'm sure she's listening. You know who you are. Let's see it. Bowsette Plasma Legion. Let's go.
Aw.
I say he's being very stationary for you.
Just take a helicopter to the face. It's fine. What is this game? It looks crazy. It's Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Yes.
What's up, Akala?
Mighty Gunvolt Burst, developed by the fine folks at Inti Creates.
It's a fun combination of
Which sounds
Mighty
really
Number
awkward
9.
when I say it, because, you know.
Mighty Number 9, Azor Striker Gunvolt, and classic style.
Excuse me for just a second, I'm being summoned.
So after this boss and one more, we have the final boss. So he's going to do the expanding attack because his hands change to drills. He's going to do a spinning attack now. He's going to hit me because I was on the wrong side. And burst. There we go. Balzette Plasma Legion. You're darn right, man. He's so good. All right, one more boss in the rush. And it should be weak to shock. So go ahead and switch over to the shock element. Which is nice because the next enemy you fight, I believe, is also weak to shock. Or maybe all elements. So remember, everybody, this is for charity, and you can win some awesome prizes. Matt showed off some really nice Gunvolt press kit and art book, signed art book, that you can be eligible for if you donate. I know I'm probably going to, because that is so awesome. Get him to half health, so he'll do his thing up there. See if I can get him before he goes. Oh, he went very quickly. Very quickly. Could not get him down before he disappeared. But remember, it is for child's charities to help out children in children's hospitals, have support, video games to help them while they're going through hard times. And you could win some amazing prizes. And you get to watch us do silly things like play a game as the character of your choice, which was Jewel, which is awesome. Thank you. Much love to Jewel. All right. What's going to happen here?
Oh, there he is.
I love this. I loved this so much when I finished the game the first time.
Actually, I really like kind of Dark Jewel's design.
I do too. I would love to see like some cosplays and stuff of Dark Jewel.
Now, since you're not playing as Gunvolt or Beck, you don't get like the full story sequence, so you don't see Mr. Teseo there in all of his true meme lord glory. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of let this play out for a minute, and then I'll kind of give you the 411 on why this is all happening the way it is.
Giant robot. All right. So I can use impact or smash against the head.
Yeah. So I really shouldn't have jumped off the stage back there.
Oh yeah.
Because now my feet hurt. That was a mistake.
I'm gonna set this one to freeze because I don't know.
So you gotta use it.
Get a little bit of help.
Oh, GV's coming to help you. It's so sweet.
Back-to-back shooting.
It's so sweet. Jules just like in her glory with you.
What's this? We about to do it. It's Teseo time. and you have to dodge the ha-has.
It's really getting huge.
I love it so much.
That was easily the most fun I had. Some of the most fun I've ever had localizing a game was coming up with all of those.
Get down here.
Oh yeah, get those homing shots. GV's helping. Go, 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 go. Oh, okay.
Floats up and away. I need a big thumbs back.
People are wondering, like, why the hell is that a thing? Like, why? Like, why is that? Like, and so Tessio, like I said, Tessio, he is the lord of the memes. And, like, he talks basically he basically talks like an internet troll. And so, like, in the Japanese version, there's all these, like, Japanese, like, internet puns. So I'm like, well, Japanese internet jokes are completely different from, English internet jokes. So I just kind of had to think up, like, what would be funny and campy and stupid and silly to do. But, like, if you play as Gunvolt or Beck, there's a whole, like, dialogue sequence, too.
Right.
What was really funny, I'm sorry, that was really in the credits, but I just wanted, because this cracks me up to this day. Like, when this game came out, and, like, people who don't know anything about Tessio, people who haven't played Gunvolt 2, were playing this game like people were giving me such shit online. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. They were giving me such a hard time online. Like, what's with putting memes in a game? Like, that's like the biggest offense ever. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. You don't understand. Like, this is Tessio is supposed to annoy you. He is supposed to make you cringe. And the fact that so many people were like cringing and face palming,
right.
I'm just like,
Tessio did his job.
I did a good job.
Oh, it's so good.
That was like high praise for me.
Mm-hmm. I was actually like a little sad the first time I beat it with a side character and didn't get to do the gem mini game in the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know, some guy. I don't know who that is.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thank you for joining me on the couch.
Yes,
and
my pleasure.
For the amazing prize package we added in.
Which I will introduce again in a second because we have a little bit of extra time.
Oh, okay.
I was informed by the powers that be that we have a little extra time to play around.
Okay. We'll finish out the credits here, and we get a little bit of story. Every character gets a little bit of story at the beginning and end.
She's so happy. Look at her.
She's so happy. She helped GV put all of his pieces back together, basically.
Yeah.
And if you play the Gunvolt games, there really
this will make a lot more sense.
It makes a lot more sense, and it's this fantastic, like, interesting relationship between them and side characters that are also there. And so this whole thing takes place in a VR world. Every character has their different reasons for being in or playing the game. Tessio created the world, of course. All right, and that's a clear. So you can get the tabula rasa bullet type now.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome. One of the cool things about the customization system in this game is you get a ton of loadouts if you really want to.
Yeah, you can really, really do that.
But you can also test everything out, even against enemies. So you can do all kinds of interesting adjustments, and the tabula rasa lets her be more like the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls out a lot of the abilities where she can add a number of bullets on screen and all these things that were locked for her before.
Yep.
Which then lets you play through pretty much any way you want with Jewel.
Yep. Fully awakened Jewel, so to speak.
Using her crazy powers.
So I see somebody in the chat asking about the donations, and so it's probably now as good a time as any to showcase the Gunvolt fan kit or fan pack donation incentive. So it's a minimum of $20 to donate towards Child's Play, and you can put your name in the running for this Azure Striker Gunvolt press kit that comes in this like awesome Super Famicom style box, and it has. I don't want to open this too many times.
He's being very delicate with it.
I'm being very, very, very delicate. Comes with a full color Azure Striker Gunvolt instruction manual, like for the 3DS game, and it also comes with a actual Super Famicom cartridge. There's nothing in it. There's no, because the game's not made for Super Famicom, but with an Azure Striker Gunvolt label on it too. This was only given to a very small number of media personnel back in 2014. There's an extremely few number of these left that aren't in the hands of media people at this point.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty rare opportunity for you to get your hands on a piece of Gunvolt history that I can say with confidence that almost no non-media person owns. And, of course, we also have the thing that I put back in the pack the wrong way. The Azure Striker Gunvolt official Complete Works art book signed by a bunch of the kind of like mainstays on the Gunvolt team. Director Yoshihisa Suda, producer Takuya Aizu, scenario writer Toshiaki Tai, character designer Munehiro Araki, sound designer Ippo Yamada, and localization director me. So you can get both of these together in one pack. If you donate at least $20 towards that incentive, you will put your name in the running to win both of these beautiful items.
Just amazing items.
So yeah, so like I said, we have a little bit of extra time here since we are ahead of schedule. So I think it'd be kind of fun to like maybe show off one of the other characters for a little bit while we just kind of mess around.
I kind of want to, let's start one as, who do you think?
I mean, I have some kind of heavy Galgun bias here, so I would personally say Ekiro or Corona.
So I was playing as Ekiro earlier. Might be an interesting one to see just because of how delicate she is.
I'm rocking the Galgun shirt today, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I think it's only appropriate that we mess around with one of the Galgun characters.
So let's go with Ekiro so people can see the other side of
Yeah, let's do it.
a more delicate character, and you get a little bit of other story. Like I said, every one of them has a different one, which is another thing that's really cool about this game. It might be a short aspect at the beginning, but it's still cool that these are written and you get this this crossover world between all three
I think
universes.
fans of any of the series, be it Gunvolt, Mighty Number 9, or Galgun, I think can really like appreciate these little tidbits.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think Corona's the one that's more mischievous.
Oh, I love her. Hers is my favorite.
Hers is so funny because a lot of them are finding these game devices and it like pulls them in.
Yeah, because her friend Patako, who's one of the main characters from the Galgun 1 and Galgun Double Piece, she's a huge gamer.
So she decides to try it out.
And now here she is.
Whereas Corona finds somebody's game trying to be as bad as she can be, decides she's going to play it before they can.
Yeah,
It's
Like,
so good.
someone had their portable gaming device confiscated at school, and then she found it, and so she's going to beat the game before they have a chance to, and put her name in as the high scorer, because that's the most devilish deed you could ever do.
So one of the other aspects is she's not just a delicate character, but she gets temporary invincibility with her power, and she has a much higher
Yeah,
jump.
she's got serious ups.
She can
She
do
can make
some
the
fun
screen
things.
transition.
I remember last year I played this, and I played as Joel, and because she won the vote last year as well.
So Jules a popular character.
And there was a part on one of the levels, and I can't remember if it was this one or a later one, where we actually forced a transition in a spot you weren't supposed to.
Oh, did you now?
Very briefly in a sky level where it was kind of open like this, jumped into a part where it transitioned. And then I fell back out and it transitioned back, but it was just kind of a weird little surprise.
You've seen the behind-the-scenes Netherworld. No human eyes are supposed to see that.
It's like I used to be a QA tester by trade, and everyone's just like, stop doing that. You don't do it intentionally.
Yeah, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of like the official speedrun strats, like that is used some, isn't that?
Yeah, you can break certain areas of things if you know what you're looking for and you know where you're going. I don't do a whole lot of speedruns. This is one of the very few games I've ever really practiced for it. And like still not that fast, but fast enough to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
I've always kind of avoided glitching out games.
Me
a little
too.
Bit.
I don't personally, like, I love seeing it. I think it's really cool. But just for me personally, like, I don't get as much enjoyment out of doing it that way, just as me on a purely personal level. So I like to just go through the game as it was meant to be played. But I think there is definitely an art form, and it's really cool to see it that way. I really like seeing it both ways. As far as playing it goes, I like just kind of playing it through, like, glitchless.
Right. There's... Ooh. Ooh. There's something to be said for a lot of times when Sloppy and I are streaming. I'll take a moment to talk about the different design things that I see.
Yeah.
I used to work in the game industry. I don't anymore, but it fascinates me to see the different kinds of choices that are made. Ooh.
So you gotta watch out for her health. For you're not even. Yeah. So now she is temporarily invincible, but she has the
And there's
goddess's blessing.
nice indications for that, both for her and Jewel.
Yeah.
And the other characters. You can pay attention to the aura around them.
Yep.
And
And
for
how
her,
many
it's the number of
you
wings
have
she
left?
has.
Yep. Yep.
It's nice little details that first time through I probably didn't pay that much attention to.
So we have a couple more donations coming in. We have $5. My eyes are failing me. It's from I was going to say your first name from Peter, and that's $5 for in memory of dead feet. Rip. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we have a $25 donation from Bucket. Thank you very much.
So let's see. I will start once again with the Capitol building. See if there's anything I really want. Just upgrades. So there's also stickers you can collect. There's a really cool section where you can view all the many, many, many things that are collectible in this game.
Stickers from all three different series, a whole boatload of characters. I mean, you can see we're over 200 stickers, like, easily.
And you can set these as loadout icons, as a player icon. There's a bunch of different things.
Yep, so like there's a bunch of Galga ones. There's a bunch of Mighty Number 9 ones.
Different expressions
Gunvolt
for
ones,
characters.
yeah.
It's just... It's so much fun. It took me a little while to get through all the challenges, and I like that. Like,
Oh yeah,
there were
if you want to collect everything there is to own in this game, you're going to be playing it a lot.
There's some tough things, and this isn't even nearly as tough as things in, like, Gunvolt 2.
Oh, no. No.
There are some challenges in the Gunvolt games that...
Oh yeah, some of them are pretty brutal. Like there are many that I haven't even done myself. Like,
there's one that I thought was impossible for me to do. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. No way. It was in the water level. And it might have been the first game, but I think it was the second. No, it was the
each
first
game
game
kind of
because they
has a
did it a
water
little
themed level.
differently.
Because either Merrick's stage from GV1 or Milos from GV2.
They did it a little differently in the first game where you would unlock a challenge and then another level would come out.
Mm-hmm.
There was one in the water level where I think you couldn't get discharged. You couldn't lose your...
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to get this. And I got it, and I got the next level of challenge. And I was like, that one I'm definitely never going to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, because so many of, we have so many people at the office who are so amazing at these games. Sometimes we have to, like, during, like, playtesting and stuff, like, sometimes we have to tell them, like, guys, like, you need to dial it back a little bit. Like, I remember when we were, like, playtesting Dragon Mark for Death a couple months ago, like, before we did, like, our first demo build that we sent out, like, to an event, there's, like, basically the boss at the end of the stage for the demo thing killed me 6 times. 6 times. And, like, everyone else was, like, dying multiple times. I'm just like, I went over to the director. I'm like, dude, like, this is too much, man. Like, we've been already, like, play testing this game. We're dying this much. I can't imagine someone who's never played this before. Even if you're good at these, I mean, we're all good at those style of games. I'm like, dude, like, you gotta dial it back a little bit because there's just no, like, people are gonna be spiking controllers and just playing, like, well, the hell with this game, like, and so yeah, it was adjusted properly, but
yeah,
I was just like, dude, like, you're crazy.
Some of the testers and things, I worked on a AAA game at one point, and some of the testers had our own speedrun competition for that game.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
And trying to figure out how long it takes to beat everything and then how fast you can do it.
Right.
And our time, I think our best time in office was something like 2 hours and 50 minutes or something like that. And we put it out in the world confident that we were like, no one's going to beat it any faster than that. That's crazy. No way.
Give somebody a week. And like,
They had it down to like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that within a week or two. And it's crazy.
yeah.
They find all the glitches that even the best QA testers in the world are not going to find without the help of a million people or so.
Yep, that's what you need. Like, it's crazy that
Well,
you got to pay attention to her
attention.
health bar. You really do. 'Cause it'll just disappear on you like that.
so I think it's even less than half of Jules.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell,
It's
but
pretty.
it's-
I think it's exactly half of like the normal character.
It's pretty small. And without damage reduction, really take the hits. But of course she has built-in damage reduction.
That's her way of making
To
up for it.
0. It's a nice balance, and it allows you to do some silly things if you're trying to speed run.
Yeah, like
Just
walk right through
ignoring
that.
enemies.
But yeah, like Ekiro, her along with Beck and Gunvolt were the other 3 playable characters in the original Mighty Gunvolt. So it was really nice. I mean, Mighty Gunvolt was very much a straight up 8-bit game,
Oh, yeah.
and it was not. It's a very kind of like a bite-sized experience. So it was really fun seeing like all the differences between like not just their attacks, because the Mighty Gunvolt original, like there's not too much different about them besides their attacks and stuff. But in this, you really get to flesh out the major differences between the characters. So I really like. If you've played like maybe Mighty Gunvolt but never played Mighty Gunvolt Burst, I think that's one of the biggest things you'll notice that's different.
Not high enough.
Eyeing up that invincibility. Yeah, you gotta be really careful. I still screw that up like all the time.
It's just little bits, especially with the little robots that are climbing around the outside.
Yeah.
It just... Glass Cannon Angel.
It's true.
Oy.
But she also that getting that big jump out of the way is also, like I said, I think everything it balances itself out at the end of the day. I think there's so many different play styles. I think you can really just find one of these 9 characters that meshes with your play style.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things I noted earlier is you see a game for $10 on the App Store, or sometimes. Excuse me.
Oh, get before he does. Oh,
It's not enough health to counteract the balls jumping on your
he
head.
drops the 3 hearts. 2 of them are like bombs, and then one of them is actually real. That if you don't take it, he will, and it does actually refill some of his health.
But there really is so much depth in this game. It's part of the reason why it's one of the few games that I've actually put time into speedrunning is because when you've played a game with 9 characters, there are differences.
Yeah.
But you get the levels down, you get the memorization down, and start to get to do some really fun patterns with it. And I actually found that...
Oof, careful.
Jeez. Apparently I can't talk and play.
It's hard, trust me. It's very hard. Like that was when I was speedrunning, trying to speedrun Mega Man 2 last night with the composer Takashi Tateishi, and like not only just talking with him and like thinking up of questions to ask him while playing, it's mentally taxing. And not in a bad way. It's fun. But it's just like sometimes I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm not talking. I just gotta concentrate. Like,
Got to be careful not to go back to my like 8-year-old self where you kind of go slack jaw in front of the TV and have that.
Yep. Yeah. I do. That is one of my favorite effects in this entire game, though, is having counter shade. shoot up, like
big
like,
smash in
blow
the
a
middle.
hole into the screen. I thought that was such a cool idea.
I was convinced the first time I played that I had to like dodge this crazy sniper shot that was gonna like one-shot me. Right to the face.
The thing about Shade is like when you use those like abilities, like, he dips in and out so much, like
You definitely lose time on
yeah,
it.
you
so-
lose a lot of time. Get him. Oh, or steal it. That works too.
I always try to steal it from him. Feels right.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well done.
All right, what do we... All right. I think the original time was set to about 15 more minutes from now, so I don't know when they'll want to move on to the next thing, but we'll keep on trucking with this
Keep on.
Ekro yeah. Bleh. Words are getting harder.
What are words?
So customize the element. Essentially, usually, I know I can't. I just want to hit the arrow. Element always costs a little bit, so it takes, unless you replay a level.
Yeah, one of
Usually.
the things I really like doing is increasing like the bullet size.
Oh, yeah,
Make like the big old shots. My favorite one to do is with Corona. Because when like she has like the little like energy ball she shoots out, and then like the medium one's like a bigger energy ball, and then like the large one's like a little mini Corona like on fire that she shoots at you. Yeah, so like now she shoots like
Get
the hearts and
different items,
stuff.
yeah. So you start with the tiny arrows. Go to the medium ones. I can afford those.
Yeah. But yeah, like I love changing up like the shots like that into like the hearts or like the little mini demons and stuff. It's fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it's just there's so many little details. There's so many fun things to play with.
Like when I'm like oh yeah, we did such a great job. Like we have like the work that my comrades at the office do. I think is really top class. So, like I don't feel like bad at all. Like singing their praises. He's like, oh well, you work there. Of course you're going to say that. But, like no, like these people do great work. I don't care if I work there or not. I'm gonna talk them up all day.
Absolutely. And I have no affiliation. I think it's awesome.
Well, thank you, Connor.
As I was one of those people, there was, of course, a little bit of disappointment from some of the people in the world about Mighty Number 9, and I think that's a great game. I was really excited to see Mighty Gunvolt when it first came out because it was this combination of two really cool games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can't. People will think what they will think at the end of the day. Well, at least you got the aerial action.
Yeah. One nice thing is if you get the big items and die, you don't have to retrieve those. Food doesn't stay, but the big collectibles, once you've touched it, you get it for that run.
Yeah, and Ekaro's aerial action is super handy because she can basically fly across the screen for a short period of time. And if you set it to like, there's a couple different settings for it. Like, she'll kind of like naturally she'll kind of like descend as she flies across the screen. But you can also, if you put more points into it, you can make it so she just stays in like a straight line.
Right.
So you can traverse terrain like horizontally. Characters like Gunvolt and like Jewel with the double jump, they're very good at traversing the vertical terrain, but the characters like Ekaro and Corona and stuff like that are really good at traversing the horizontal terrain. I just see this game and the word translating just pops into my head.
It's what you do. And of course, any Mega Man inspired game, there's always a focus on the music.
Yeah, and our sound team, they're busy bees, and yet they always find a way to knock it out of the park. Every single time.
Oh,
Oh no!
all the way down.
Dang. Yeah, so if you have her aerial action equipped,
You can just slow and it'll go.
you can like do that kind of fly/hover thing, and you can actually catch that on its way down sometimes if you time it right.
So I get some extra CP.
But now you can get the banana you missed. Who doesn't love bananas?
Used all my arrows that were allotted to me. Oh,
This part is,
oh her
as I
extra
said,
jump.
this is the quintessential fast food sandwich with extra bastard sauce.
Always do a little hop just to
Yep.
get that timing back.
That one, those two mean meanies right there.
This little area used to get me because of the invisible enemy.
Yep, sneaky boy right there.
And then this is really the
Yeah.
trickiest part.
This is
especially if
something-
you want the bonus.
Yeah, this is some of the as far as the, you know, the normal boss stages go. I think this is some of the that's some of the toughest stretch of stage easily.
So after
Alright.
this boss, we'll go ahead and there's the block.
Oh no!
So we'll call it after we finish this stage up here. Oh, and he's gonna do it again. It was successful for him, so gotta wait for him to point and get out of the way.
Shoot his feetsies.
He really likes that attack right now.
Nice. Just eat that to the face. You're all good.
And then he has recorded you, so brings out a clone that can hurt you as well.
Yeah,
So it's good to be aware of
yeah,
that.
Avi's a tough customer. You should be careful.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go ahead and call it there. And I don't remember what we have up next, but we'll have our 8-bit do. All right. Mega Man Game Gear. All right.
man.
That's
That
awesome.
takes me back. I used to have that. I have not played it probably since I was a kid. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to go.
We'll give this one more go, and then we will.
You got this, Crits. You can do it. I believe. I believe.
Don't hit me. Aye. It's all right. I have plenty of food if I actually pay attention to using. Oh.
Get him. Get him. Oh, yeah. Wow, you do have a lot of food. Yeah, you just gotta remember to eat it.
Just gotta actually eat the food. He's gonna start recording. It's such a cool effect. It's having the clone and the normal one flying next to each other. Oh, got me. It's all right, I'll just get close enough to hit him. And there we go.
There he is.
Okay.
Well done, sir.
Thank you, thank you. And once
Excellent.
again, thank you for joining me on the couch
Oh, it's
today.
my pleasure. My pleasure. This was fun. And that is Mighty Gunvolt Burst, ladies.
That was Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Pick it up for yourselves. Play with all 9 characters. It's so much fun.
That's available on the Nintendo Switch eShop for a very reasonable $9.99.
Price. And, you know, beat it fast. Beat it faster than me. I know you can do it. I know you can. All
Let's see.
right.
So what's your next game you're going to be playing?
I think the next game I'm on is probably tomorrow for a rousing game of Catan.
Nice.
I'm sure nothing will go wrong and everything
No,
will be
of course
perfect.
not. Of course not. And I will see you guys tonight at, what was it, 12:30? Around 12:30 for Azure Striker Gunvolt.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
much
And
looking-
then the fantastic preview on Saturday night.
Yes, and then Saturday night we're going to be doing a special 2-hour preview of Dragon Marked for Death, the full retail version of the game that we have not showed live to anybody yet.
Oh man, excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Guys,
Stay
thanks
tuned.
a lot, guys.
Remember to donate to Child's
Yes,
Play.
bring in those donations. Get yourself the Gunvolt Fan Dream Package or whatever else other amazing incentives we have.
Order the dance.
And we'll order the dance as well. I guess we'll turn it over to the cool kids at the table.
Here we go.